أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Okay, so we're going to share the screen. And here, Google Classroom. So yesterday, the question was, what is the duty processor mentioned in this ayah? And you commented as, the responsibility of the messenger, peace be upon him, is to convey the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who guides people because he knows what's in their hearts. Okay. So guidance is from Allah and the messenger's duty is to convey the message only. Okay. So here we go to Surah Ma'idah chapter 5 and now in the 100th verse, mashallah. So we're almost done. A little smaller. Okay. Not that small, but a little bit like this. Oh, 204. Okay. Saba. Yes. So who wants to read today? Okay, Haika, maybe you can read today. What time did you come, Haika?
Okay.
What time did you come?
Like at 9.
9? Okay. So because usually Asma puts the assembly, right? So after that, everyone's supposed to, I've told Asma because, and everyone, same thing, that you share the screen and start doing IXL, okay? And then when everyone's here, I want everyone to be together. That's why then we do the Quran. Sometimes it's 9:20, 9:30, sometimes even 10. Depends, wherever. But I try not to do late than that. Okay. So yes, Haika, you can start reading. Ayah number 100 of Surah Ma'idah.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. قل لا يستوي الخبيث والطيب ولو أعجبك كثرة الخبيث فاتقوا الله يا أولي الألباب لعلكم تفلحون.
MashaAllah, tabarakallah. Qul. Qul means say, it comes many times, we know. La means not. Yastawi. Yastawi are equal. Al-khabisu. Khabis, al is the, khabis is evil. Wa and al is the, and tayyab. Tayyab means good, pure, original. Tayyab. Tayyab wa walau and even if, walau is even if. A'jabaka. A'jabaka is impresses you. Ka is you. A'jab is something is, even we say ajib, it's different. A'jabak is impresses you. A'jabaka impresses you. Kasratu. Kasra means abundance. Kasratul khabis. Al is the and khabis again is evil. Okay. Fattaqu. Fa is wattaqu, fear. Allah, Allah. Ya ulil albab. Ya is O. Ulil is possessor. And al-bab is understanding or Albab means people of understanding of knowledge, or you can say the Ya ulil albab, O possessors of knowledge or understanding. So, O men of understanding. La'allakum, la'alla, so you may, kum is you, la'allakum, so that you may, tuflihun, falah means successful, tuflihun, be successful. Okay, all right. Asma, you can read the translation.
Yeah, okay. Not equal are the evil and the good, although the abundance of evil might impress you. So fear Allah, O you of understanding, that you may be successful.
Yes. So, what do you understand? Let's go to the Tafsir of Ibn Kathir. You are reading it, okay, and here is, have they made any heading? 100, 102. Okay, okay. Tafsir Ibn Kathir, you're reading ayah, not equal the bad things, the good things, they will please you or humans. Abundance, evil, okay, not equal are the bad things and the good things, even though they may please or humans. An abundance of bad as I means a little permissible is better than the abundance of evil. Who have sound minds avoid the abundant impermissible. The permissible will be sufficient for you. For you successful. Unnecessary questions of is disproved of. O you have believed, ask not about things which has made plain to you may cause the trouble. The I refers to good conduct that Allah is teaching His believing servants by forbidding them from asking about useless things, since they get the answer they thought they might be troublesome of them. Bukhari record that the Messenger of Allah gave a speech unlike anything it heard before. In the speech, he said, "If you know what I know, you will laugh little and cry a lot." The companions covered their faces, and the sound of crying was coming out of their chests. The man asked, "Who is my father?" The Prophet said, "So and so." This ayah was later revealed. Okay. Let's see what anything else that we can add. Community asked these questions. Account they became disbelievers, meaning some people before your time asked each question and they were given answer. They did not believe the answer, so they became disbelievers because of that. This occurred because these rulings were made plain to them, yet they did not benefit them. As for these things not gain abundance, but only to mock and okay. Let's see what the other one is saying. And you have believed, do not ask about things which they have shown to you, distress you. But if you ask about them while the Quran is being revealed, they will be shown to you. Allah has pardoned, that is that which is past, and Allah is forgiving and forbearing. So that was about asking questions. Okay. So I'll make the question. Good and evil, the abundance of evil might impress you. Okay, so 99, it's up now 100. And 100 means yeah, um, or it's good or bad, no, not bad, or evil equal. Can or is good or evil equal? Explain. Okay, I'm going to. Is good. This is capital, so it didn't show as capital somehow. Is, and I'm going to make this capital so that that's the emphasis, right? Good or evil equal. Explain. Okay. So you, obviously we know good and bad is not equal, right? It is obvious. La yastavi. Say, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that not equal are the evil and good are not equal, even though you may see evil in abundance, right? Now, how can you give an example? Can you give an example in our practical lives? Okay. Or fear Allah of you of understanding that you may be successful. So the question is evil and good equal? Explain. So you said Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, say not are evil and good, although the abundance of evil might impress you. So there may be many people doing bad things, right? Or you can see that there in the world there are a lot of people who are disbelievers, right? And if Muslim population is, say, in world population is 8 billion, and the Muslim population probably is 1.9, there's one fourth of the world population are Muslims, and one third of the world population, 2.6 billion, are Christians. So combined together is more than 50% are the believers of the book. But if we just take Muslims, it's one fourth of the world population. So three-fourths of the world population are not Muslims. Okay, and then they do things that are um, that are um, um, un-Islamic, you can say, because they're not Muslims, right? But subhanahu wa ta'ala says they're not equal, and those who have understanding, ulul albab, the possessors of understanding, right? They are conscious of Allah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is to be conscious of Allah and to stay. So when we went to Tafsir, we saw the same thing, that people would ask questions, and when they weren't satisfied, they would become disbelievers. And that happens even today as well. People ask questions, uh, say one part is, um, for example, the rights of women, and some people are not satisfied with the answer, and then the Imam has said that they kind of leave their belief. So it's very serious thing that one has to have full faith and confidence in what they believe. A lot of people are doing wrong thing doesn't mean it's correct. Okay, so you would say in the answer that evil and good are not equal, right? Even though if it's in evil is in abundance, right? But the people of understanding, they are consci- conscious of Allah, right? So yeah, so you can just write simply that evil and bad are not equal, even though evil might be in abundance, right? So write your answers and then let me know when you're done.
Wait, so what did you say? That evil and good is not equal, even though.
Yeah, evil might be in abundance. Abdullah, also let me know when you're done. I think Asma's internet wasn't working, so she's probably come back.
I'm done.
Okay. Okay. Abdullah, you can do the same. You can give more explanation, but that's okay. Yes, Asma. So the question is that evil, if are evil and good equal? Explain, and you would say evil and good are not equal, even though the evil might be in abundance.
Wait, so the answer is good and evil are not equal because evil is in abundance?
No, no. Even though. So I
Even
will,
though,
yeah,
oh, okay.
even though. So I gave the example of like the world population. How much is the world population? You have an idea? So the world
Uh,
population
depends.
is,
I guess because a lot of people would see mistakes more than they would see accomplishments.
yes, that's why it is. It might impress you. So you might be seeing non-Muslims, doing stuff that is against Islam, which is evil, right? And yet they have a lot of money and all that stuff. So it might impress you, right? They have a lot of money. They seem to be successful, but they may not have peace of mind, which only that person knows, or they may be on drugs and things like that. But they're doing evil stuff, and it might impress you, but and it is done in abundance. A lot of people are doing that, right?
Okay,
But
and then
yeah, and then but so says to have a conscious love for Allah. You have to understand that good is good and the reward for good is good. So that's the understanding. People of understanding is our people of ulil albab. So Subhanahu wa Ta'ala says to be conscious of Allah, a man of understanding. The people who are doing good stuff, they are actually men of understanding, people of understanding, so that you may be successful. And I was giving the example of world population, which is like 8 billion. And then Muslims are how many? 1.9 billion. So that's approximately 25% of the world population are Muslims. So that's 1/4 of the world, right? 25%. So, and then 1/3 of the world population are Christian. So together, the followers of book are more in this world. But if someone is, doing evil stuff, what will happen? They will get their reward. Only the people who understands um, that we should be conscious of Allah and to do the good stuff. So you're done. Let me check the answer. Okay. Good and evil are not equal, even though evil is in abundance. Might be in abundance. Okay. Abdullah, you're left only. Yes. Asma and Haika, you can share the screen and start doing Excel. Okay. And Abdullah, when you're done, let me know, and then you can start sharing. Okay. So once you're done, Asma, if you can share the screen, start IXL. And also, Haika and Abdullah, you have to choose one topic from the TVO Learn, okay? And then you have to submit to me, and then the topic, the link, and then you write the report. And Thursdays are due, right? By Thursday, you're supposed to write the report for a video that you've watched. So if you're done early today, English, Maths, and Science on IXL, then you can work on that because it's due tomorrow. Haik and Abdullah, is that clear?
Sorry, you cut off a little. Can you repeat?
I said that share the screen and do IXL for English, Maths, and Science, but tomorrow and Thursday, and your report for the video in ILC, in the TVO Learn is due, right? You have to
Yeah,
write
I'm
a
almost done.
report. You're done the report? Okay. And Abdullah, you too? You have to submit by Thursday, which is tomorrow. If you submit later than tomorrow, then you don't get marks for it. Okay, so make sure that you're submitting your work by Thursday. So and the link to the video should also be there. Okay. The link to the video. So you copy the title and paste it in your report that this is the video you're talking about. All right. Haika and Abdullah, is that clear?
Yes.
Okay, then share your screen for Excel, all of three. Abdullah, when you submitted, then you can start. Asma and Haika, share the screen for Excel.
Okay.
Abdullah, have you sent your comment? Because I don't see you sharing the screen. Abdullah? Okay, if you go on a break, let me know. Send me in chat. What is happening? You're not able to sign in, Abdullah? Haika is working and Asma is working. Yes. Abdullah, your screen is frozen. You're not able to sign in. Check, please. Abdullah, are you there? Do you have problems in logging in? Abdullah, your screen is not being, you're not working since half an hour. Abdullah, are you there? I've called you so many times and you're still not working. If you have problems in signing in, what is your issue? Let me know. Abdullah? Asma, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I don't know why Abdullah cannot hear. Let me write in the chat.
Sister Saba, I'm done my Excel.
Okay. Let me see. Abdullah. Okay, maybe we have internet problem. It's 11:30. You can do 15 minutes Duolingo and then take a 15-minute break, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Aika, Abdullah, are you here? I can't hear you. Yes, Aika and Abdullah, are you here? Sister Saba, I will try again. Uh, I'm unable to open the books.
You will be able to this time.
It says account suspended. Please contact the support team for further assistance. If you are the owner of this website and have question, reach out Bluehost. We are happy to help. Sister Sabah? Hmm?
You sit, Mama. Say that you have problems in the
Sister Sabah, are you here?
Your problems in opening the Quran, not the books.
Quran and Islamic books. I'm telling you.
Just Quran. Islamic books are right here. Open up when you get to see.
Okay, then we can open Islamic studies. We can read Islamic studies.
First,
Yeah, okay. Can you read the page?
Mama, let me find the page. صلاة الجنازة.
Okay. Asma, can you read it? Asma, read it.
Death is one. Oh. Death is one of the facts of life about which we almost all prefer to remain ignorant. Most people will not allow themselves to dwell on the thought of death. The life is in fact a short trip. Drug abusers talk about taking a trip, but the tragedy is that they will never know where where the trip will take them. We do know, on the other hand, where life's trip will end if we travel as Allah Most High wants us to. It will end in the sheer, unending joy of paradise. Everything passes as the day passes. The earthly life is short. Death is a reality. Death is a cup from which everyone is bound to drink, and will inevitably be passed to each one of us. Obligations upon the family of the deceased. When death is established with absolute certainty, no time should be wasted in performing the ritual washing ghusl of the deceased body, followed by his shrouding, takfeen, and his burial, dafn. Allah's Messenger SAW make haste with the funeral, for if it is a righteous soul, then it is good that you advance it to its destination. And if it is other than that, then you are unburdening your neck. Then you are unburdening your necks of an evil thing. It is incumbent upon the family of the deceased to be patient and to accept what Allah has decreed. And accept what Allah has agreed. Anas ibn Malik radiallahu anhu narrated that Allah's Messenger sallallahu passed by a woman at a gravesite who was crying, and he said to her, "Fear Allah and be patient." She said, "Go away from me, for you have not been afflicted as I have been." Anas radiallahu anhu said she did not know who he was. When she was later informed that it was Allah's Messenger sallallahu, she became like one stricken with death and went to the Messenger of Allah sallallahu. "I did not know it was you," he said. "True patience is only at the first moment when calamity strikes." The following practices are forbidden to the family of the forbidden to the family of the deceased: wailing, beating the cheeks and tearing garments, and shaving the head. Or performing the ritual washing ghusl. Now, the best practice is to perform the washing of the deceased with water and groundnut tree leaves, so that camphor should be added in the final washing, and then the deceased should be wiped dry and wrapped in a shroud. The deceased would be washed at least 3 times. If 3 washings are not enough to make it properly clean, it should therefore be given extra washings. Whatever final total, however, it must always be in odd numbers. In other words, 3, 5, or 7. As for shrouding of the deceased, the queen of 5 pieces of cloth are used for the purpose of properly wrapping it. They should be plain white sheets. If those are not available, then 3 pieces should be enough. The funeral prayer, Salatul Janaza, is a collective duty for the kifaya, or a communally obligatory act. It means if some people perform it, and then the obligation has been fulfilled. If no one undertakes it, then all are guilty of the serious sin for neglecting the obligation. Essential elements of the funeral prayer. The essential elements of the funeral prayer are as follows: the intention, standing, al-qiyam, pronouncing Allahu Akbar 4 times aloud, recitation of Surah Al-Fatiha, sending salat upon the Messenger Sallallahu, the supplication for the deceased, and saying Assalamu alaikum on the right side at the end of the prayer. Placing the body for the funeral prayer. The deceased enshrouded is placed in front of the imam, the prayer leader, who should stand opposite to the head of a deceased male and opposite the middle of a deceased female. When the imam stands in his place at the head of the congregation, he must turn and look to the right and to the left, making sure that the rows are straight as he does in all other prayers. The worshippers form themselves into rows according to the number of those who take part, facing the Qibla. The usual practice is to have at least 3 rows, but if the number of people is small, there is no harm if they form only a single row. Similarly, if the number of people is big, there could be more rows. Morals. The prayer commences with the takbir, or the affirmation of the supreme greatness of Allah, Allahu Akbar, Fourth takbirs are generally pronounced immediately after pronouncing the first of the four takbirs. The hands are raised and placed in the same position as in any other prayer. One should then recite the Al-Fatiha. It is also a sunnah to raise one's hand with each takbir. It is recommended to say Ta'awudh and Bismillah before it and Ameen after it. All this is done inaudibly. However, one does not recite the opening supplication, istiftah. After the second takbir, one should invoke Allah's blessing on the Prophet Salam, just as one invokes them in the testimony or the shahad. Or tashahhud. Immediately after the rest of the two takbirs, one should offer prayers of supplication, dua for the deceased and for the Muslims in general. Various kinds of supplications are narrated in hadith. Mm, yeah, one may choose whichever one he wants. One should then pronounce a single salutation, taslim, and taslim while turning one's face to the right. If one pronounces two situations, one to the right, then one to the left, that is also permissible. Raising the hands in the first takbir. Mm, yeah, it is related. It is related on the authority of Abu Hurairah radiallahu anha that Allah's messengers, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu made takbir over a deceased person, and he raised his hands in the first takbir and placed the right hand over the left hand over his chest. At-Tirmidhi, ad-Daraqutni, and it is Hasan. Mm. Ibn Abbas reported that Allah's messengers Sallam used to raise his hands in the first takbir in the funeral prayer and then not repeat it. Ad-Daraqutni, and it is Sahih. One of the supplications to be recited in the funeral prayer. The worshipper should supplicate using the words which are confirmed as having come forth from the Prophet ﷺ. One such supplication is as follows: Allahumma ighfir li hayyina wa mayyitina wa shahidina wa ghaibina وصغيرنا وكبيرنا وذكرنا وأنثانا اللهم من أحييته منا فأحيه على الإسلام ومن توفيت منا فتوفه على الإيمان اللهم لا تحرمنا أجره ولا تفتنا بعده. I will not forgive those of us who are living and those of us who are dead, those of us who are present and those of us who are absent, or are young and are old, are male and are female. O Allah, to whomever you give life, grant him life as a Muslim, and whoever of us you take in death, take him in death as a believer. O Allah, do not deprive us of his reward, and do not lead us astray after him. Recorded by Abu Dawud, At-Tirmidhi, Ibn Majah, and it is Sahih. And do not deprive of us his reward. It means showing patience for the death. For the death and also the reward for many other related good deeds. Let us not go astray after him means that his bereavement of death. Let us not commit acts which are forbidden, which are stirred on by one's inciting soul and by the whisperings of the devil, which is misguidance. Then the deceased is buried. It is important to note that the pronoun he or she must be changed depending on whether the deceased is a male or female, or whether it's a group of dead people. Virtues of offering the funeral prayer. Allah's Messenger Sallallahu said, "Whoever follows the funeral and offers the funeral prayer for it will get a reward equal to 1 qirat, and whoever attends it till burial will get a reward equal to 2 qirats." It was asked, what are 2 qirat? He replied, "It is equal to two huge mountains." Al-Bukhari and Muslim. A large gathering of people is preferred. A large gathering of people for the funeral prayer is preferable, as is reported by Aisha radiallahu anha, who said, the Prophet ﷺ said, if a Muslim dies and his funeral prayer is attended by a couple, by a group of 100 Muslims, and they all sincerely pray for his forgiveness, he is forgiven. Ibn Abbas radiallahu anha narrated, I heard the Prophet ﷺ saying, if a Muslim dies and a group of 40 people who do not associate anyone with him in worship pray for him, their prayer is accepted and he is forgiven. Ibn Abbas anha narrated, I heard the Prophet, sorry, wait, that's done. Mm, Helping the family of the deceased with food. It is a sunnah to assist the family of the deceased by preparing food for them. It is reported on the authority of Abdullah ibn Jafar anha, that he said, Allah's Messenger said, prepare food for Jafar's family, for they are beside themselves with grief. Abu Dawud and Ibn Majah. Patience with afflictions. Islam forbids indulgence or immoderate grief for the of the dead. It requires that hardships and afflictions be borne patiently. Upon hearing of the death of a relative or a friend or any other affliction, a Muslim is enjoined to say, "Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un." We belong to Allah, and to Him we shall return. These words are a source of unlimited solace and comfort in bereavement. All of us come from Allah, and we must return to Him. Hence, it is forbidden that one should raise a wail of despair, or smite one's cheeks, or tear one's clothing, and indulge in constant mourning. When visiting a graveyard, the following supplication is recommended. This supplication is very thought-provoking. السلام عليكم أهل الديار من المؤمنين والمسلمين وإنا إن شاء الله بكم لاحقون نسأل الله لنا ولكم العافية. Peace be upon you, inhabitants of the graves among the believers and the Muslims, and we will surely join you when Allah wills. We pray to Allah for well-being for you and ourselves. With small variations, this dua is repeated in several ahadith. Unfortunately, a very large number of innovations have come up about what that may be done for the benefit of the dead. There is no mentioning of any hadith for preparing food on the 3rd or 10th or 14th day after the death of someone. This practice is innovation in religion. Charity may, however, be given on behalf of the deceased. It is stated in a hadith that a man came to the Messenger of Allah sallallahu and said that his mother had died suddenly, and he was not sure that if she could speak, she would give something, and that he was sure that if she could speak, she would give something in charity. He also inquired whether she would get any reward if he gave charity on her behalf. Allah's Messenger sallallahu replied in the affirmative. In another hadith, it is related that Sa'ad ibn Ubadah radiallahu anha asked the Prophet ﷺ whether giving something in charity on behalf of his deceased mother who died while he was away, and the Messenger of Allah also replied in affirmative. Al-Bukhari. Allah's Messenger ﷺ is reported as having prayed for the dead when visiting their graves. Thus, such simple act of asking forgiveness for the dead is not forbidden. When death strikes, it is natural for the family, relatives, and friends of the deceased to grieve for his or her departure. Islam does not forbid grieving. It forbids wrong beliefs and practices that people often associate with it. When struck by an affliction, a believer should display patience and acceptance of Allah's decree. Allah's Messenger ﷺ said, "Indeed, patience is only at the first moment when a calamity mm, strikes." Weeping. It is permissible to weep.
Okay, it's okay. Haika, are you here?
Weep.
Stop it. Haika, are you here? Haika, are you here?
Okay. Hey,
Haika, can you read from here?
It's 3% charger. Okay, okay. No.
Haika, can you read from here? Weeping. Haika, Haika, are you here? No one? No one in the class? Is Haika and Abdullah? Abdullah, are you here? Okay, Asma, you can continue. Read it. Read it, continue. देख लो ना देख असमा ये डेंजर होता है खड़ी हो ना और फिर लाइट जलाओ फिर चार्जर दो ना
Okay. It is permissible to weep quietly for the dead, provided that this does not rise to the level of wailing. Aisha anha reports the Prophet entered where the body of Uthman ibn Mad'un was. He uncovered his face, kissed him, and cried until I saw the tears running down his face. Except for her husband, it is not permissible for a woman to mourn for more than 3 days over the death of a beloved one, such as her father, mother, brother, or child. It is Allah's Messenger ﷺ is reported to have said, "It is not permissible for a woman who believes in Allah and the last day to mourn over a dead person for more than 3 days, except for her husband, where she mourns for 4 months and 10 days." The Arabic word for mourning is hidad, which carries the meaning of abstinence. It usually applies to a widow whose husband's death forces her to abstain from several things that were previously permissible for her. Hence, hidad signifies a widow's abstinence from things that she would invite others to desire her and seek her in marriage, such as wearing attractive garments and jewelry, leaving her house without need, and wearing perfume. Mm. Thus, mourning or hidad is a widow's physical display of sadness and grief for the death of her husband. The above quoted hadith recorded by Al-Bukhari indicates that widow should that a widow should mourn her husband for the full term of her death, which is 4 months into 10 days. And that is confirmed by the gracious Quran 2:34. Mourning, however, should not be associated with continual grieving over the dead. Associated. Oh, okay. That's the end of the lesson. That's the end of the lesson. Yeah, dash pieces of cloth that are used for the purpose of shrouding the deceased. 5.
Five for women and 3 for men.
No, it's 5 most and 3 least. The funeral prayer is a obligatory duty. The usual practice for the funeral prayer is to have 3 rows of people. Oh, is to have 1 row of people at least. Pronouncing dash salutation is enough. Um, Pronouncing dash salutation is enough. Pronouncing dash salutation is enough. Oh, pronouncing 1 salutation is enough. Whoever follows the funeral and attends the funeral will have a reward of dash, and the one who attends the burial gets a reward of dash.
Are you?
Yeah, no, Mama, there's a question I'm trying to find the answer to.
I thought it was nothing else.
I don't think so. The prayer is accepted, anything is forgiven. Okay, I don't see where the answer is.
What?
I don't see where the answer is.
Which question?
The whoever follows the funeral and attends the funeral prayer will have a reward of dash, and the one who attends the burial will get a reward of dash. Will get a reward of dash, and the one. Oh. It's the question is whoever follows a funeral and attends the funeral prayer will have a reward of dash, and the one who attends the burial will get a reward of dash. No, whoever follows the funeral and attends the funeral prayer will have a reward of dash, and the one who attends the burial gets a reward of dash. I checked. I can't find it. Okay. It is obligatory duty upon all of us. Yeah, I know it's obligatory, but you still get a reward. What's the reward?
Anyways, I think I'm just gonna skip the question because I can't find the answer. I can't find the answer. I don't. No. No. Yes. Islam does not forbid grieving, rather it forbids wailing. In wailing. In yeah. For Islam does not forbid grieving, rather yeah. In general, mourning should not exceed wailing. Not should not exceed 3 days. 3 days. What is the wisdom behind helping the family of the deceased by preparing food? They're beside themselves with grief. Try to find out about the various Arabic pronouns to be used while reciting the dua for a deceased woman, 2 deceased men, 2 deceased women, and a group of deceased people.
No.
Okay. There's more questions. We'll do those. What practices are forbidden to the family of the deceased? Wailing. How should the deceased be washed? Thoroughly, 3 times, 5 times, 7 times, odd numbers. Mm, what are the obligatory elements of the funeral prayer? It said it over here. The obligatory elements would be the intention, standing, pronouncing Allahu Akbar 4 times aloud, recitation of Surah Al-Fatiha, sending salat upon Allah's Messenger Sallam, the supplication of the deceased, and saying Assalamu alaikum on the right side at the end of the prayer. How should the deceased be placed for the funeral prayer? Should be in front of the imam, and the imam should be opposited to the right head of the male, left head of the male, and opposite left to the female. I can't word it, but yeah. Then explain the dua, do not deprive us of his reward and do not lead us astray after him. As in, if he makes a sunnah, if he has a sunnah, then make sure we get our sunnah and do not lead, and if he goes astray, then make sure we don't go astray after him. What is the proper etiquette of mourning for the dead? Mm, shouldn't last more than 3 days. For the husband, it can be for 4 months and 10 days. Just don't wail, don't go over. Does giving charity on behalf of the deceased help them in any way? Yeah, they get their sunnah. What is the mourning period of a widow? A widow, 4 months and 10 days. What is hidad? What form of behavior should a widow exhibit during her waiting period? Hidad is, what do you call the waiting period of a widow for grieving of her husband? And the widow shouldn't wail, but if they want to, then they should cry. If they want to, they can cry. If they don't want to, don't cry. Like, don't cry. Like, just,
Oh.
There's 12 minutes left.
Mm.
There's 12 minutes left.
Okay. So
Just end
the lesson is complete?
Yep.
First answers all?
Yep.
Okay.
Just
No, just we will quit the Okay, this was your lesson for today. Inshallah, we'll see you tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Now they're here. Why was I